And we're live. We're recording. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're doing all right. First of all, let me welcome you on this beautiful Tuesday. We do have an amazing day today. The sun is shining. There's blue sky all over. It's a little bit cold, but we're sitting inside. We're happy as we are, and that's what matters. I hope you're doing great yourself as well. Now, first of all, the meat and potatoes right here is actually a little bit of a double-edged sword. Meaning that just like always, there are two main possibilities that could come into play. And yeah, we're gonna have to go over everything in order to be making a decision on what traits we would be setting up. Now, the main concern is actually what we're seeing on the long trend. On the long trend, we do see that actually on the daily, that is, we do see that we have encountered a bearish divergence right here that has not been resolved just yet. So this level right here with all these, the three stabs like we discussed at length before, what happened, we did get a bullish divergence, but now the question is, are we going to see continuation, or is it actually going to break down? Yeah, just give me a minute. All right, now where was I? See, I tried to get the telephone quiet, and still I get this kind of stuff going on. Yeah, we do have this local section of bullish divergences here that is even visible on the daily. So this is actually really nice. But is it going to be enough to allow price to really rally up and go to new all-time highs? Because we're this close, we're really that close to be breaking again the all-time high. But yeah, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? This is what we're gonna have to talk and see from the coming technical analysis. Things playing in our favor. Let's just go over it. Things that are actually in our favor. The most obvious one is the lack of volume that we have once we break the all-time high. Once we break above this, a lot of biases are going to change, because right now I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who are actually already thinking about shorting the situation because they want to get the top if you short. But right now, me on my behalf, I would not really think about shorting just yet. And let me tell you why. This entire structure here, it does resemble a little bit like this one here. And now I know what you're saying, like yeah, this is really a shorting situation. This is where you could be making a lot of money shorting. Granted, it's true, it's perfectly true, but what we did not see on this formation right here is this recovery, this series of bullish divergences that are actually very clear and noticeable. Now, no, what we do see actually, and looking at this structure here, what we have is actually a picture that is very similar to this one right here, where indeed we do have the bullish divergences, And eventually the outcome is a lot more ranging almost flatlining on a certain range. And this is where we get our breakout, a little bit of a pushback, and you see the story, you see where I'm going. So it's a little bit of a mixed reality right now, but even though the structure looks on the top like this one, the problem that I don't see such a recovery right here, and here we clearly see continuation signals all over. Uh, right here, we do not. We do have this bullish divergence being printed and being actually very, very clear. Now, let's zoom in a little bit, because as you can see, I've already added a trend line here. And what does this look like? Well, yeah, this looks like a rising triangle. And rising triangles often happen, especially in Bitcoin land. In Bitcoin land, those are like so very, very strong patterns that actually get played out quite often. Okay, I say quite often because it's not always the case. There's no such thing as a golden rule. If if you're looking for patterns, it's just like I always say, it's a line in the sand where you can actually set your limits, your range, and go from there. Every time you hit the range, you can maybe add up to your position, or maybe pull your stop losses up a little bit at a time, so that even if your stop loss breaks, you're still in profit. There's many different strategies, but yeah, of course, all those are for you to decide on. Maybe in the future, I would be considering making a series of videos talking about possible strategies that I tried that actually do have quite some results. But for now, this is not what I'm doing. What we're doing is just going over the technical analysis and trying to understand and appreciate why and how we use certain indicators and reads. So let's dive in. On the 1 hour chart, what do we have? Oh, I already messed up my chart with so many boxes and stuffs. The levels are still the same. The one that we want to see at least a bounce on, or where we do want to expect some bounces on, are actually sitting right here. So sitting at the 27.50, let's call it 28, because we want to have a little bit of an average. And this would give us a level starting at 18,700. That would be more or less here. Well, let's drag this down just a little bit. Maybe we can remove this purple line. I don't think we're gonna be needing it anymore, because that was actually relevant for these levels right here. And seeing as how we broke these levels completely, those are completely out of the picture. For now, I'm going to leave the two boxes, because you know actually right now already that this edge, the top edge of the box, actually the low end of the box should come here at the low of the candles from the area we actually took the measurement of. We know that, but for now we still didn't complete our entire integrity of checks and stuff. So right now we're just going to leave it like this, and we will clean up the chart a little bit more by the end of our analysis. So let's move over to the 3-hour chart. In the 3-hour chart, I'm hesitant. I'm hesitant right here, because this is actually the low on the RSI that we would love to base ourselves off. If we see price really range down, this is what we would be looking for, having a bullish divergence. But seeing as this is not the local low of the entire structure, this actual local low is the area that broke on the price and that formed a bullish divergence here. So we're going to take a little bit of an average in between those two again, and we will set this more as the point of no return. Well, no, we'll see how. We'll first see how it reads, and then we're gonna decide what we're gonna do with this level. I think we're be better off doing that. So this is sitting at 31.77 and 35. No, wait, what is this? 31 and 23. 31, 23. This is, yeah. Let's look at both. Let's see what it says, and we'll decide afterwards how we want to interpret these signals, because it's not just about reading some numbers from a chart and going from there. You need a little bit of your noggin to interpret what you're actually seeing and reading. So yeah, the red line, let's move it up to 150. Like this, 160, and then 23. So yeah, you need a little bit of human touch, that feeling, to be able to judge how much faith you want to put in into the stuff that you're reading. So here, the low of the low is sitting at 17,327. So yeah, I think this could become our point of no return, where we really decide all hope is lost. Although for me, actually printing a lower low with this area here, that would do it. Even breaking the trend, breaking out of this triangle, obviously much more ranging, and then I would just change my strategy, maybe even take a little bit of a loss, who knows. But worst case scenario, I take a little worst case scenario, it takes a dump and I took a little loss over a big loss. Best case scenario, when it breaks out of this range, it just ranges a little bit, and I get to re-enter with a really good and strong position. So it's not a big deal. We're in it for the long run. It's not like we're going to do this one trade and our entire life depends on it. Okay, so really keep those kind of mindsets in mind. This is very important. So, where were we? 17,327. I would say this is where we change our biases. This is where we decide that, okay, the long-term uptrend is over, is finished, is kaput. We're gonna have to wait out and see whether we break to the downside or whether it's still recoverable. Okay, so this is here, dropping beyond this red line. This is where I'm gonna take a little break. I will be on a holiday, mentally, of course, and I will just be eyeballing from a distance and waiting until there's a little bit of resolution, a little bit of clarity, so I can start re-entering trades with a good conscience. Okay, now the yellow box. Technically, we could drop it a little bit more, and I'm going to set it, the low of the yellow box, right here on this node sticking out. Maybe this being like the area of most support for the yellow zone, or orange zone, depending on yeah, we can call it orange because this is yellow. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, then the red line, this is actually the danger area. Could still have some support, have some bounces and stuff, but clearly reaching in the red area, chances are we already broke the triangle and the formation is void. So yeah, make your assumptions accordingly. I think this speaks for itself. Now let's go over to the 5-hour chart. You know, I skipped the 4-hour chart just because the 4-hour chart has been disappointing a lot lately, and you know, I just can't deal with it anymore. It's just very much in line with the 1-hour chart, and we already did the 1-hour chart, so you know, why do this again? I like the 3-hour charts and the 5-hour charts just because they have a different interval of closing, and this gives a little bit more of a washed down average that helps create a little bit of a better mental picture. And then afterwards, exceptionally, we are also going to do the 12-hour and the daily, because if we actually see a breakdown, we're not going to go to zero. It's impossible from here to go straight down to zero. Nothing is impossible. You know, everybody sells their Bitcoin. Everybody's tired of it. We're going to traditional markets, or we're going to buy gold. I don't know what the world is going to decide. Everything is possible. But yeah, I think even if we would go to zero, there's going to be some nice bounces and opportunities to be shorting this stuff like crazy. Hey, we have some Facebook chat. All right, this is awesome. Let me have a look. Let's have a look. Where are we? And this is when I don't open. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. All right. Now, where was I? So yeah, even if we would be going down to zero, you can be sure that I would be shorting like crazy. Because even if it goes to zero, it doesn't matter. I will make so that my base currency is set to USDT, and you know, I will short and short and short, and eventually I'll come out a winner. So, you know, there is no need to panic. Whatever you do, there's always going to be a coming next opportunity. And I want to, you know, keep telling this, keep reminding you guys that whatever happens, sometimes it's better just not to trade for a little bit. Make sure that you understood what is going to happen, and only then start thinking about your positions again. And yeah, this will take the edge off so much more. Trying to be in a position all the time is actually, it's not healthy and it's not productive, because sometimes the moment just isn't right. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's continue. The 5-hour chart. Will I look at this as a local low? I'm going to measure it out, but yeah, but still, I don't know. It's difficult because this is the local low on price action, and only this is the local low on the RSI. So let's just go with an average again. 43.9 and 27.5. So let's do, did I say 43? 34.9. So that would be 18,300. 18,300, and that is more or less, yeah, that is the low of the yellow box. And then we have 27.5. 27 and a half, and this would be 17,600. So yeah, even a little bit higher. Let me zoom in just a little, smudge. Yeah, it does make a lot of sense looking at this level, because yeah, as you can see, this is actually where the volume thickness really fades away. So yeah, once we break below this area, I'm pretty I have a strong feeling that we might see more lows, maybe a few bounces here at the 16,000 and stuff. But all in all, once we break out and we get our lower low in, especially a lower low compared to this one, yeah, just forget about it. Take a little break and let's allow price to find its new range, its new trend. But for now, all this is future talk, because we could still just see a nice resistance area here, a nice support area here on the red trend line. You know what? I'm even going to remove this one. This is completely unnecessary. I'm just going to keep the red one, because as it was resistance, now it can turn into support, which it actually already did a couple of times. So yeah, we're just gonna keep it for now. And then finally, as I said, we might as well have a look at the longer term, and let's see what kind of levels could be maintained or could be used if we really start breaking down. So first of all, here, this local low, I want to measure it out. It's 36.6. 36.6. Got 17,600. Same thing again. So the red box area, really, really relevant. Breaking out of this, or at least closing outside the red box. You know what it means, like a change of momentum, continuation to the downside. And I think the red line here, we might just use it for a wick limit. If we start wicking through this red line, it's gonna go really fast. That's what I think. Now, eventually, if we start ranging, this is the area that we would be looking for a new bullish divergence that would actually resolve this entire structure that we see here. So this one is sitting at 21.36. Let's do 21.37. 14,500 for the 12-hour chart. So starting from here, we could start expecting some bounces inside this range. So this is actually where this entire structure is leaning upon. So yeah, there are a few opportunities, like 13,500, there's 13,000, there's your 12,000, 11,300. So yeah, opportunities are plenty. There's going to be, if we break down, at least a few bounces, at least at 15,500. There's going to be some resistance, some support coming in here. Which also comes in line with this section here. Maybe it's going to be a little bit higher, just the intersection in between the low of this here and the high of that. And then when we zoom more backwards, there's the high of July 2019, sitting at 14,000. See, so there are bouncing opportunities more than enough. But all this is future talk. All this is a little bit too premature. Right now, I would be looking at the blue box on the top, the orange, and the red box. Those are the only ones I would focus myself on, and we'll go from there, because it's not said that this structure needs a complete resolve. We do have on the long term still this bullish divergence here that is very, very present. Oh my god, what have I done again? I tried to use the hotkeys, but yeah, that's what I should have been doing. There we go. There we go, more beautiful. Okay, so we do have this this little arc range that that RSI has been making, just like it usually does before a real swipe to the downside. But it's not always the fact, because right here we also have this arc motion where we did close with a bullish divergence. Right here, exactly the same shape. And what happened? Well, here we saw RSI just hesitate, push down, but actually what has been happening is just this mellowing off, this ranging, so that more new buyers could start getting their fates up again, finding some nice positions to enter, and then bam, we had this entire run up. So is it game over right now? Absolutely not. Do we need to be vigilant? 100% sure. So just before we shut down and we end the stream, I would like to have a look at the dollar and E-mini futures just to see where they are standing. And yeah, dollar, what does this look like? What does this look like? Let's frame it a little bit better. And let's remove the numbers game. There we go. All right, so on the 12-hour chart, a little tiny smudge of a bullish divergence. On the 1-hour chart, this here is a higher low with a higher low. This is a lower low with a lower low. So all in all, I would still be leaning towards continuation, or at least hesitation, until we see a real resolve. Making new highs would be actually fairly easy, because this entire structure here is based on these highs. But the final one, this one here, the nail on the coffin, this one is actually sitting like way at the top. I don't think that this structure can just see a recovery without making a massive bullish divergence. But this is my opinion, this is my thoughts. I could be wrong. So of course what we do is we keep our eyes on this entire structure here, and even though we see price move up, just making a higher high here on the price with this, but still on the RSI being a lower high, would result in more pressure to the downside. And on the down end, the levels are still more or less the same. I'm pretty confident. So we're just going to keep this blue box right here as it is. so that we can keep our eyes on the progression. Now, E-mini futures, what are you doing? Is the future bright or not? On the 1 hour chart, still looks a little bit close, but we still have this bullish divergence here that is in play. And since we didn't make a real bearish divergence with this area like this, I still don't believe it's played out completely. So chances are more highs on E-mini futures part. And of course, let's have a look and see whether the dollar is going to stay inverse correlated with the traditional markets, if the dollar is going to capitulate eventually, or if there's going to be a decoupling. So let's keep an eye on these, and especially same thing goes for Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin going to decouple, or are we still going to keep this inverse correlation? It could make sense. It could make sense because right now the dollar is hesitating, and okay, we did have some big moves, but in the land of cryptocurrency, this is fairly normal stuff. Having $3,000 drops, it's it's nothing new. If you're new in this space, you might be panicking, but in the crypto space, this just happens. It's everyday shit. But right now, we actually see that there is some hesitation. We still do have the uptrend that is maintained. Maybe we're going to be ranging a little bit longer, but same thing is visible here on the dollar. So some hesitation, not really knowing where to go, but mainly more of a downtrend than actually a horizontal, a sideways hesitation. All right, so I'm going to leave you guys on that note. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you very much for watching. Remember, every day, same time, same channel, 12:30 UTC. I will be there, and I'm counting on you guys. Remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, so you get notified when the new live streams go on. I would love to have you in the chat, so you can type your questions away. It makes it all so much more fun knowing that you can also ask your questions. All right, hey Master Ken, how are you? How you doing? Hope you're doing all right, buddy. Like I said, same time, same channel. Be there, be square, and have a good one. Have a beautiful day. Think about your positions. Remember what I said. The three boxes here, those are the main concern. Those are the ones we're looking for. All right. Have a good one, guys. Thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Bye, guys.